The Dominion fleet loomed on the horizon once more, larger and more aggressive than ever. Aaron stood at the command console, muscles tense, eyes sharp. The station hummed around him, alive, aware, and ready to respond. Lyra was beside him, her hands steady on her controls, her gaze unwavering. Together they had pushed back enemy fleets before, but this time there would be no half measures. "They've come prepared," Lyra said. "Stronger, faster, more coordinated." Aaron nodded. "So are we. And this time, we strike first." He directed the station's energy conduits to align with the experimental tech from the core vault. The hum of power grew into a chorus, reverberating through the station's corridors. Lights shifted, walls glowed, and every system responded instantly to his commands. The Dominion would see something they had never encountered before: humans controlling alien technology seamlessly, in perfect harmony. The first wave of enemy ships arrived, sleek and deadly. Aaron didn't hesitate. He fired the station's energy pulses, combined with human ship missiles, targeting key points in the enemy formation. Explosions erupted across the fleet, shattering shields and crippling engines. The Dominion faltered, their advantage slipping away under precise, relentless pressure. Lyra's eyes shone with admiration. "Humans, you are more than I ever imagined. You are not just survivors, you are catalysts." Aaron allowed himself a faint smile. "We survive because we must. And when we must, we fight smarter than anyone expects." The Dominion regrouped, launching a coordinated attack from multiple directions. Aaron quickly analyzed their patterns, predicting their movements before they occurred. He directed the station to rotate outer rings, creating corridors of energy that funneled the enemy into traps. Missiles fired from human ships with pinpoint accuracy, hitting ships before they could fire. The Dominion was strong, but they had underestimated the combination of human intuition and custodian technology. One Dominion cruiser broke through the first line of defense. Its weapons charged, aimed directly at the station's central core. Aaron reacted instantly, rerouting energy from secondary systems to reinforce the shields. The blast hit the outer ring instead, sending debris spinning into space, but the core remained intact. "That was close," Aaron muttered, heart racing. Lyra's hand brushed his on the console, a gesture of solidarity. "Your courage, it strengthens the station itself." Aaron shook his head. "No, humanity strengthens it. We don't just survive, we inspire, we adapt, and we refuse to give up." The Dominion commander's face appeared on the main display, twisted with fury. They unleashed a wave of drones, small but lethal, meant to bypass human defenses and strike from within. Aaron didn't flinch. He directed the station to emit a counter-frequency, disrupting the drones' navigation systems. The drones collided with one another, exploding in controlled bursts. "They didn't expect this," Lyra whispered. "That's what humans do," Aaron replied. "We turn the impossible into possible." The Dominion adjusted, launching their heaviest assault yet. Energy blasts rained against the station's outer rings, shaking the hull and sending sparks flying along corridors. But Aaron had anticipated this. He activated the core vault's experimental conduits fully, channeling energy through the station systems in a synchronized pattern. Beams of concentrated power lanced outward, hitting Dominion ships with unstoppable force. Several vessels were destroyed instantly, and the remaining ships faltered under the relentless assault. Lyra watched him, awe in her eyes. "You are not just a human, you are a force." Aaron didn't respond with words. He focused on the battle, guiding the station like an extension of his own mind. Each decision was precise, calculated, and instinctive. Human strategy combined with alien technology created a level of efficiency the Dominion could not comprehend. The enemy commander's frustration turned into desperation. They ordered a retreat, but Aaron had anticipated it. He directed the station's energy fields to form a barrier around the retreating ships, channeling them into a controlled zone. Missiles and energy pulses disabled engines, communications, and weapons with surgical precision. One by one, Dominion ships were neutralized or destroyed. The human crew cheered over the communicator, their morale soaring. Aaron allowed himself a small, triumphant smile, but he knew better than to relax. The Dominion still had resources, still had numbers, but for now, victory was within reach. Lyra turned to him, her voice calm but filled with awe. Aaron, your species, you are unlike any I have ever known. You do not just fight, you inspire the station, the crew, and me. Aaron shook his head. We survive because we refuse to quit. We adapt because we must. And we fight because giving up is not an option. The Dominion fleet, battered and broken, retreated into the darkness. Their ships limped away, unable to continue the assault. The station's energy systems hummed steadily, recovering from the strain. The outer rings rotated back into their original positions, and the core glowed softly, alive and responsive. Lyra placed her hand on Aaron's shoulder. You have changed everything. My people, my station, the Dominion, all of it will remember today. Aaron looked at her, a mixture of pride and humility in his eyes. We didn't do it for recognition. We did it because it had to be done. That's what humans do. She studied him for a long moment, her eyes reflecting the station's light. And yet, your actions will echo through generations. You have not only saved lives, you have transformed perception. Humanity is no longer a species to be underestimated. Aaron nodded, feeling the weight of her words. We don't just survive, we leave a mark. That's the difference. The human crew continued their work, repairing systems, reinforcing defenses, and monitoring the remnants of the Dominion fleet. Lyra observed quietly, realizing that humans were not just allies, they were partners, essential to the survival of her people and the station. Hours passed, and the battle was finally over. Silence settled across the stars, but it was not empty. It was alive with potential, a testament to the cooperation between human ingenuity and custodian technology. Aaron and Lyra stood together on the balcony overlooking the central core. The stars stretched endlessly beyond, silent witnesses to the battle that had just concluded. You have proven something extraordinary, Lyra said softly. Your courage, your intelligence, your will, humans are capable of greatness I never imagined. Aaron smiled faintly. We've always been capable. Sometimes no one gives us the chance to show it. Lyra's expression softened. You have shown it today. Not just to me, but to my station, my people, even the Dominion. They will remember this day. Aaron glanced back at the human ship, seeing the crew tired but triumphant. It's not over. The Dominion will regroup. But now they know the cost of underestimating humanity. They will think twice before challenging us again, Lyra said, her voice firm, and perhaps they will respect us. Aaron nodded. Respect is earned, and humans, we don't just survive, we make sure everyone remembers it. For the first time in centuries, Lyra felt hope, not just for her station or her species, but for the universe. Humanity had arrived not as prey, not as a minor species, but as a force capable of inspiring, protecting, and leading. Aaron placed a hand on the railing, looking out at the stars. We survived today, and tomorrow we'll do it again if we must. That's who we are. Lyra joined him, her presence steady and reassuring. You are not like any other species I have encountered. You are brave, resilient, unstoppable in ways few can comprehend. Aaron chuckled softly. We don't know any other way. They stood together, human and alien, watching the galaxy stretch endlessly before them. The Dominion fleet had retreated, but the message had been sent. Humanity was no longer to be ignored. They had fought against impossible odds and emerged victorious, not through raw power, but through courage, ingenuity, and determination. The station hummed beneath their feet, alive and aware. It had learned, adapted, and grown stronger because of humans, and humans had proved that even in the darkest corners of space, hope and resilience could shine brighter than any weapon. Aaron turned to Lyra. Your station, your people, They're incredible. But it's humans who made this victory possible. Lyra smiled, a rare, full smile that lit her face. Perhaps it was always meant to be this way, that together, human and custodian, we could achieve the impossible. Aaron nodded. We survived. We adapted. And we changed the outcome. That's what humanity does best. In the distance, the Dominion fleet disappeared into the void, a shadow of their former threat. But Aaron knew this was only the beginning. Humanity would continue to face challenges, enemies, and impossible odds. And each time they would rise, adapt, and survive because that was who they were. Lyra placed her hand lightly on his shoulder. You have given my people a future, and you have shown me the true strength of your species. Aaron smiled faintly. We didn't do it for praise. We did it because it had to be done. That's humanity. We don't wait for hope, we create it. The stars stretched on endlessly, silent witnesses to the courage, determination, and ingenuity of a single human, and the legacy they had begun. The Dominion would return someday, but when they did, they would face something far greater than a station. They would face humans, and humans, Aaron knew, would not just survive, they would triumph. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy understood what it meant to underestimate humanity, and it would not make that mistake again. Aaron and Lyra stood together, watching the stars. They had survived. They had won. And the universe, in its silent vastness, had already begun to take notice of humanity. And in that moment, the station, the humans, and the galaxy all understood the same truth. Survival was not enough. Humans ensured that survival became victory, and victory became legend. The galaxy would remember. Humanity had arrived, and it had arrived to stay.